Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says over 8,000 criminals, including kidnappers, bandits, Boko Haram terrorists and armed robbers have been killed since he took over office in 2023, adding that 10,000 persons, mostly women and children, were rescued from kidnappers, emphasizing that Nigeria is now more secure than it was when he was sworn in as the president of the West Africa country. This, he stated after the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN, Archbishop Lucius Iwejuru Ugorji, stated that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu economic policies are pushing millions of Nigerians into poverty. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made the response to the observations made by the CBCN president on Sunday in Abuja during the opening session of the first plenary meeting of the 2025 Catholic Bishops' Conference, held at the Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria, CSN. According to Archbishop Ugorji, the economic reforms introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has triggered skyrocketing inflation and pushed millions of Nigerians into poverty. While speaking at the event themed, Jubilee of Hope, a light for a better Nigeria, he said Nigerians have continued to endure increasing hardship on account of the harsh socio-economic situation, including high cost of petroleum products, transportation and essential goods. While the economic reforms introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration aims at stabilizing the economy on the long term, they have significantly triggered skyrocketing inflation, drastically reduced the purchasing power of Nigerians, and plunged millions into poverty. The World Bank projects that 129 million Nigerians now live below the poverty line. The 2024 Global Report on Food Crisis lists Nigeria as the second globally in terms of acute food insecurity, with 24 million people categorized as food insecure. According to data drawn from the National Bureau of Statistics, food inflation hit 39.84% in December 2024. It is reported that Nigerians now spend about 65% of their income on food alone. Thus healthcare and other basic necessities are sacrificed, Ugorji said. He noted that government's efforts to alleviate the sufferings of the citizenry through the distribution of palliatives, duty waivers on imported food items, and other measures have remained the tip of the iceberg. He said while Nigerians continued to suffer and die, the resultant daily stress is having heavy tolls on the mental health of many parents as they overstretch themselves to make ends meet. Bayo Onanuga, in a press release on Monday, stated that the Catholic Bishops' Conference, at its first plenary meeting of 2025 in Abuja at the weekend, gave an alarming prognosis of the state of the economy and the polity that sounded more like snippets from an outdated book. In his opening address, CBCN President Archbishop Lucius Iwejuru listed youth unemployment, insecurity, poverty, corruption, and electoral fraud as some of the ills plaguing the country. He demanded quick action from leaders nationwide to stop the country from drifting. President Bola Tinubu deeply appreciates the constant interventions of the Catholic bishops in matters of governance in our country. The Conference of Catholic Bishops' patriotic fervor and commitment to national unity, peace, and stability are unassailable and deeply valued and respected by the government. While some of the governance challenges in the areas highlighted by the bishops remain, it is important to state categorically that our country has made tremendous progress in all areas since President Tinubu assumed office about 22 months ago. In terms of insecurity, Nigeria is more secure today than it was in 2023, thanks to our military and other security agencies. And the strong leadership provided by President Tinubu as the commander-in-chief. In the last 2 years, over 8,000 criminals, bandits, armed robbers, Boko Haram terrorists, and kidnappers have been eliminated, and over 10,000 Nigerians, primarily women and children, have been rescued from their abductors. As a result of improved security in our communities, especially in the Northwest and the Northeast, farmers have returned to their farms, and our country has seen increased food production, which is currently driving down prices of essential commodities. Farmers in Kaduna, Kebbi and Jigawa are eloquent testimonies of the improved security ambience. Similarly, farmers growing cash crops in many parts of the country are experiencing a new life of boom and prosperity. On the economy, Tinubu's administration has stabilized the economy from the precarious situation it inherited on assumption of office. Our balance of trade has improved, foreign reserves are in a stronger position, inflation has moderated, our currency is gaining strength against convertible currencies, local refining capacity has tremendously increased on the back of Dangote Refinery and NNPCL refineries in Port Harcourt and Warri, going on stream. Realizing the importance of youth to national development and economic growth, President Tinubu's administration has designed programs that will catalyze youth employment, enhance their capability, and harness their ingenuity, creativity, and talents for better productivity. These programs, including 3MTT, NATEP, LEAP, IDICE, NIA, and the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund, were designed to create over 10 million new jobs for young people. More than ever, the country has increased revenue collection phenomenally and is mobilizing more local revenue to fund critical development priorities. Under President Tinubu, Nigeria spends more on economic and social infrastructure such as roads, power, healthcare, education, and security. The unprecedented 54.9 trillion Naira's 2025 budget is designed to revitalize the economy and set it on a new growth trajectory. Local and international institutions have continued to praise the Tinubu administration's implementation of necessary reforms. Last week, Chatham House, a United Kingdom international affairs policy think tank, praised President Tinubu's team's economic management. In an article, Chatham House said Nigeria's economy had been most competitive under President Tinubu in 25 years due to his reforms. While we agree that many Nigerians still face difficulties, we remain convinced that the government is making the right decisions to lead to a better and more prosperous country. President Tinubu and his team will continue to work very hard on behalf of our compatriots to deliver the promise of a greater and stronger Nigeria. The Tinubu administration is optimistic about the future and the ongoing positive changes, said Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on information and strategy on March 10, 2023.
Osazuwa Connedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.